We've returned.
We have returned.
But for those of you who weren't here before, here we are.
So we had some, I don't know, let's call them technical difficulties, dear listener.
I thought today was the 9th. That's what the problem was.
And actually, apologies to the EUXU Alliance.
Because we're late.
We're going to wait for you beautiful people to show up. At least Negative Vibes in Highlandross. And this is going to be a very, very interesting stream. But we actually need
some answers.
Some direction from our Alliance leaders, let's say. And hey, Blair, good to see you. We're both doing very, very good. River in the house. DJ
What's
Mark
up,
in the house.
Mark?
What's good? What's gravy? Yeah. So greetings, RJ. Good to see you again. Very good to see you again, RJ. So yeah, we're waiting on those folks to show up, and then once they do, we'll be ready to rock and roll. DJ Mike in the house. What's up, Davey J? Good to see you, buddy. Are you live? Yes, we are. BC.
We are.
Good to see you. What's your miserable self?
That's so funny.
Archero! What's up, Archero?
Good. Okay, Archero.
Archero's one of the architects.
Yeah, so we've got a question. So it's like we've got the original and the cover. Obviously, lyrical content is going to be the same. So would you guys rather do it all in one video? We listen to one song, give the breakdown of what we think of the sound of it, do the cover or, whichever order you want, then do the breakdown of the sound of that one, and then do a lyrical breakdown and keep that all in one video, sort of like a battle of the original versus cover? Or would you rather us do two separate videos, do the original, do the cover, and then break down the lyrical content in either the original or the cover? What is it that you prefer?
Yeah. What do
Your wish is our command. I'm pulling up our channel.
Huh?
I'm pulling up the channel. That is... I don't like that.
What?
That bridge going into the person's eyeball.
What are you talking about, Ross?
Whoops. That is a bridge.
Oh, I think it's coming actually out of the person's eyeball, actually.
The person is walking in. Nice try.
It's walking in, but the person's going into the bridge, which is from the brain.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's an interesting thingamajiggy. I think that's a better format to do them both in one, okay? That
I agree.
is Kel's idea.
Oh, whoops. What about everybody else?
I know, Tony. I know. Must have been a big downer.
Happy birthday, Delaney.
That was
What about
it's
everybody
Delaney's birthday? Hey, Delaney, happy birthday, little sis.
What was the letdown? What happened? What, thinking the core?
I would probably do a full review of the originals and on the cover mostly just address the sound. I also think it'd be better, but that's just me, original then cover. On the same...
River, do you mean in the same review, or do you mean do like Archero was saying, break down the lyrics on the original and then just do the cover as a sound review?
I think Cal is saying better to do them both in one. I don't know, maybe we do them both and say we like, okay, this is the one we like, this is this sound wise, and then the lyric reviews at the end.
That's what I said.
Oh, is that what you're saying?
That's what I said from the beginning, but... Oh, I'm so sorry, PSI Com.
Okay, let's try this. Who feels really strongly in one of these in this alliance? So if you feel, because it doesn't seem anybody feels really strongly, but if somebody feels really strongly, let yourself be heard. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I feel really strongly that you should do them both in one song, or I feel really strongly that they should be two separate reviews.
Yeah, Neil, we're trying to find out if we should do the original and the cover, basically listen to both songs almost back to back. Like, maybe do the original, talk about the sound, what we liked or didn't like, then do the cover, talk about what we liked and didn't like sound-wise, and then kind of compare them and do a lyrical breakdown.
Okay, so River has a strong feeling. I definitely think one after the other in a single video.
I agree, River.
Both videos back to back, then review. I think that's where everybody wants us to go.
Okay.
Okay. Amy, I couldn't give a rat's ass. I do what Sori just said. Okay.
I'm feeling strongly that missing feeling of my own stream with you guys.
Don't worry, it's coming.
You'll have... Well, I'm sure he's going to do another one at some point.
It'll come up when it comes.
The time will be right when the time is right.
Big thing is your hair. That's what's important. Goo goo ka-choo.
Ugh.
That's...
Wait, Vin looks like a white what?
That's...
Oh, he looks nice in his white sweater. He does. That's what I said. When I came in the room, I said, whoa.
Yeah. I mean...
He just had his fresh haircut.
You can never underestimate the power of white power.
You know what, honey? I really miss you wearing your Jamaica shirt. The white one. With the flag on the front.
Yeah.
A very nice shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amy Lee. The three of us all agree on that.
How about 1, listen to the original. 2, talk about the Bible. 3, listen to the cover. 4, talk about the last movie you just watched. That is probably how it's gonna go.
Oh, facts. What was the last movie we watched? Was it something scary? Oh no, it was the Tinder Swindler.
That was not a movie.
It wasn't, but it was entertaining enough to equal a movie.
It's a true crime documentary. See that? You see that over there?
Yeah, it was.
I don't know.
What's happening?
I don't know. Refresh it. See if it still does that. Yes. We love Alcest. Or Alchest. I don't know how to pronounce it. Hey, Negative Vibes, you have returned! Hey, guys, are we like flipping out on you guys, or is that just...
Are you noticing a bit of a lag, or is it just my computer?
Soft C. Okay, guys. All say.
Thank you,
Archero.
Archero.
That's how you pronounce Alcest. All say. Okay.
Okay, Perk says he doesn't see any lag. Everybody's saying it seems fine. It's got to be mine.
Lag is just on your side then.
Our mics are a little bit too hot, though. Okay, well, let us fix that, because I was breaking up one of the reviews, and our mics were super hot. I was like, as if people even sat and listened to that. I'd be like, look, I love you guys, but holy shit, peace.
That's what Scissor was like. You people, you got these extra mics, but you sound like shit. Let me see here. See, I could make it so that we never even get yellow, babe, because we've been red the whole time. I could make... yeah,
but it's not supposed to go in the yellow. You don't want it going in the yellow. Hello.
Down, so we'll
yeah,
see.
but my gain is all the way down. It's not changing. Wait, am I mic 2?
I think
Hello? Hello. Beep, 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 beep. That means I'm mic 1.
You're mic 1. So...
Hello.
Mine's doing pretty good. It's not
Hello. Oh my gosh, I was turning the wrong way for gain. No wonder. You kept saying I was turning it up. I was like, yo, I'm not turning it up. Matter of fact, I'm turning it down. Okay, you guys, is my mic better now?
Yeah, it should be, because it's all green now. There's no yellow at all.
Yay, that's better?
There's no yellow at all.
Yeah, River, I thought that turning it that way was to turn it down.
Shout out to Negative Vibe. I can still turn you. Let me see here.
Thank you, guys.
Look, we're right there. We're right on top of the mic, and there's no so the gain should actually be
very
all the way
low
down.
volume now. But okay, Archero, you're saying the volume's better, and everybody else is.
Wait.
Maybe you're the only one that actually wants to hear us.
Bradley Puppies. Hello, Christians. Remember Johnny Haas? Hello,
yes.
atheists. Hello, atheists. Johnny Haas used to give it to them boys. All right.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, you're I was going to say, Archero never messes with us.
So Vinny used to work for this company that
Oh,
will
I
remain
actually
unnamed.
I read your Ruby Red poem, which I'm assuming was for your husband. It was good.
I didn't see it.
All right. Okay, so I think we're in good shape. I think we solved the audio problem.
All right.
Because I've got the movie volume all the way up, so that's good. Let me see. What did I have the movie volume up on the Middle America thing? Yeah, the movie volume was still all the way up on Middle America. Oh, I had the sound effects all the way down, and that technically counts as a sound effect. I see.
So there's that.
All right, let's go back to the regular thingamajig. Let's see. Play. All right, guys. Okay. We are sounding great now, according to Negative Vibes. Thank you very freaking much, Negative Vibes, for the direction. You're a true friend and a true Scotsman. And the time has arrived. We got Sadie in the house. We got Tony in the house. We got so many people in the house. We got 2 originals, 2 covers. We got Archero. This is going to be a wonderful day. Wonderful day indeed. Isn't my Sori so beautiful? Yes, she is. Yes, she is. If you say she's not, you're a damn liar. It's commercial time. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go. If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at insori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 here and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. Charles shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
We have a first. This is like
very interesting stream on the way.
This is an alliance. Yes, dear listener. This is an alliance of multiple alliances coming together. Come together right now. Some. I don't know.
All right, so this is going to be an interesting one because it's almost like a battle of the cover and the original. So we're going to start with the original, and then we're gonna kind of talk about what we hear in it, and then we're gonna do the cover. And then we're going to break down the lyrics. So the first song that we're going to do is by Ralph Stanley. And the name of the song is Oh Death. This is the original of the song that won our covers poll. This is obviously the epic underground speaking. Oh Death is a traditional Appalachian folk song. It's commonly attributed to Baptist preacher Lloyd Chandler, who performed it in the 1920s.
Nothing can be done. I have to talk about the Bible.
But there's evidence even he adapted it from an older tune for the original version. We selected the recording from Ralph Stanley, which is featured in the movie Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Okay, and then here's Amy lying, talking about I sang a Beatles song. That was the Michael Jackson song.
You racist.
You racist.
You're trying to take everything from
Like the guy was saying that Shakespeare was black, and then he tried to say that King James was black.
Who did that?
One of the Black Israelite people.
Oh,
James, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Oh boy, what can be
But I'm
done?
pretty
What
sure
can be
that
done?
was Michael Jackson, right? I think people are going after us because you gave the Beatles a 3.5, but I guess the other parts of the lyrics is over me.
Yeah, Vin keeps walking around saying "goo goo bachu."
Goo goo bachu. That's a good. I don't care.
It's so
The lyrics are ridiculous.
No.
The lyrics are ridiculous, but I really like that song, Goo Goo Bachu.
No,
All right.
You want to shut down a night? That's what you should say. Goo goo bachu. Sorry. I'll be like, good night.
You know, I'm starting to think that it actually was a Michael Jackson song. I mean, a Beatles song. Because a lot of people.
Oh no! For fuck's sake.
Trinity, yes, I say inshallah a lot. Okay, guys, here we go. Song number 1 is not Rage Against the Machine or any of these things.
Oh, you didn't update that?
No.
You should just shut down and come back.
No, we're not going to do that either, you horrible person.
It's going to be all over every of those forums with the wrong title.
What are you talking about? Oh, no, I already fixed that. I already fixed that.
Oh, okay.
I already fixed that. Okay, here we go. Oh, Death is the first song. And I have the lyric video for it and everything. Oh, okay, that was the problem. Okay. Oh, man, we were in such a mess.
Oh, death. Oh, death. Won't you spare me over till another year? Well, what is this that I can't see with ice cold hands taking hold of me? Well, I am death, none can excel. I'll open the door to heaven or hell. Oh, death, someone would pray. Could you wait to call me another day? The children prayed, the preacher preached. Time and mercy is out of your reach. I'll fix your feet till you can't walk. I'll lock your jaw till you can't talk. I'll close your eyes so you can't see this very hour. Come and go with me. Death, I come to take the soul, leave the body and leave it cold. To drop the flesh off of the frame, the earth and worm both have a claim.
Whoa.
Oh, death. Oh, death. Won't you spare me over till another year? My mother came to my bed, placed a cold towel upon my head. My head is warm, my feet are cold. Death is a-moving upon my soul. Oh, death, how you treating me? You close my eyes so I can't see. Well, you're hurting my body, you make me cold. You run my life right out of my soul. Oh, death, please consider my age. Please don't take me at this stage. My wealth is all at your command, if you will move your icy hands. Oh, the young, the rich or poor, all alike me, you know. No wealth, no land, no silver, no gold, nothing satisfies me but your soul. Oh, death. Oh, death, Won't you spare me over till another year? Won't you spare me over till another year? Won't you spare me over till another year?
Okay, so that was
Okay, that's the Ralph Stanley version.
that's some kid added that at the end of the thing.
Yep, that's the Ralph Stanley version.
Okay.
So then the next version, this is the cover, and this is Chemist. Khemmis.
I just have to say that I heard what people say, oh, he sounds like he's smoking, yada yada yada. But he still has a voice. Like that dude was still hitting notes. Mm-hmm. I know we're supposed to do the comparison or whatever, but the guy was still hitting notes. Mm-hmm. Like he could still sing.
One thing I was a little bit confused about was he sounds very old, obviously, but then he said that his mother put a towel on his head. Is that like in a vision?
Well, we'll break down the lyrics soon. But as Sadie said, it's the Appalachian whale. But like I said, like I understand it's not like he's the male version of Floor Jansen, but my point is he's still hitting notes if you're actually listening. Like the dude is. It's still an art form, in my opinion. Okay. Here is the next one.
Chemist? This one's called A Conversation with Death.
A Conversation with Death, but it's a cover of this song. Let's go.
I see Archero.
Oh, death. Okay, now this guy. Oh, death. Won't you spare me over till another year? Okay, so the first song.
Okay, first, for one, do you think like that a cover should be as close? You do it as close to the original as you can, or do you think you take the song, the feel of it, like what the song was trying to communicate, and then you create music around that?
No, I think covers should be like adaptations of Shakespeare.
Okay.
So, for example, we just watched 2 versions of Macbeth. Mm-hmm. It's the body of it is Macbeth, but the actors leave their signature. The director leaves their signature. So this band definitely left their signature. If it's gonna sound exactly like the original, in my opinion, there's no
Not so much of a point. Yeah.
In doing a cover. Now, this song, I think these 2 selections are probably going to be more divisive than the next 2 selections. Just because of... It's almost like the first...
They were so different.
Well, it's almost like the first one was sacred. Just because of how much character the song had.
Yeah.
Because it was so human. Because it's just the guy, and he's doing this Appalachian wail.
No. What do you mean?
That's what, Sadie called it the Appalachian wail. Incidentally, "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" is an American folk adaptation of Homer's Odyssey. That's interesting. So, like... Yeah, we probably got to watch that at some point, inshallah.
Yeah, I've only ever heard about it.
So that's kind of the
So what do you have to say about it? What do you...
work. You spare me to another break. That's funny. Yeah, so I get that. I really, really get that. Like the sacred nature of you've got this one human being, and it's just him and death, or him and God, or him struggling with the concept of death. And so there's a lot of, but objectively on a sonic level, I mean,
yes. But I think too, I don't know if like the way that Ralph Stanley was singing it, the voice and fluctuations that he did, and the way that he did it, it sounded very like dated. And I wonder if people from that time that preferred, like for instance, my meme, if she was still alive, she would probably prefer his version over this one. She would think that his version sounded better than the version we just heard.
Really?
Yeah, I would think so. Because that certain sort of sound to it. You know what I'm talking about? That older...
Yeah, it had that old churchy...
like cowboy sort of...
Had an old Pentecostal type church sound.
Little twang in there,
Isn't that something like you'd see at a Pentecostal church? Like the at least Pastor Elliott's church where I was growing up.
Yeah, sometimes they would invite people, and it would be like on a Sunday night, and they would be singing like that,
Yeah, exactly. So...
I never really, and like we didn't have music growing up, so the only time that we would have music is if we were at church. So I think that my taste was pretty broad because I liked like music, but but that was, I never really got into that style. I think I can appreciate that style now more than when I was a teenager. But yeah, he kind of, when he said the line, like it was ridiculous in a sense, but when he was saying like he was trying to do a trade-off with death, like all my money can be yours, like, and his voice made you think, he does kind of sound like he's on death's door. Where the other crew, Chemists, I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, when they were singing it, to me it sounded more like, well, what's that?
I agree.
The what of every man. The
Death is the destiny of every man.
The destiny of every man. Yeah, it just kind of sounded like the destiny of every... It didn't sound like these people were on death's door.
That is a very good point. Like, this guy is obviously, the next stage of his life is mortality.
That's it.
Is
Yeah.
this guy even still alive? What's this guy's name?
Cannot be. There's no way. There's no way.
What do you mean? He could still be alive.
No way.
Go to Trello.
Genius right here, right? Would have it.
What's the guy's name?
I thought his name was Ralph Stanley.
Okay, Ralph Stanley.
Release date was in 2000. So he might still be alive.
Yeah, that was from the "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" thing.
Yo, this sounded so old fashioned.
So, I mean, he could still...
Also, when the second one came on, the second band, the
No,
chemist one,
he died 2016. He died,
well, even still, I thought he was long gone.
Yeah. So, my point is, the next stage of his life...
The next big event is death.
Yeah, is death.
Yeah.
Right? So...
Thanks for the super chat.
This version is from a video game and is the intro of the being who's a semi-deific avatar of death. Okay, thank you, Joshua Scott. That makes a lot of sense. And also, you and Perkinos's facts are 100% true. And I wouldn't really spend a lot of time arguing with that fella, guys. I mean, it is what it is. Just let it go. He died in 2016, so I think Sadie's a big fan of this guy, but he died pretty much all the way till he died. But I do think that there is something different about singing this song when you're in your 70s and 80s, or even your 60s or whatever.
Absolutely. I mean,
versus singing this song when you're in your 20s and 30s. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
The next stage, you're right. You're looking at something like in the future. It's the destiny of a man, and who knows, I might die in a car accident.
It's almost like a vague concept that kind of it just kind of floats. Which there's a verse that says it's better to go to the house of mourning than the house of rejoice. In other words, a party. It's better to be at a funeral than a party, because when you're at a funeral, you have to contend with the fact that death comes to all men. It's not something that you can escape. You can't buy your way out of it. You can't bribe your way out of it. When it's your time, it's your time. That's it. And perhaps you have ways to make your life easier and to extend your life, but still, there will come a day when your life ends.
Right.
When the second song started, it reminded me more of, that verse? Well, Oh, death, where is your...
Yeah. Victory or grave, where is your sting?
Right there. Oh,
1
death, where
Corinthians
is thy
15.
strength? Oh, grave, where is thy victory? The sting of death is sin and the strength. Okay, goes on. But whole part... Oh, you already had it? You had it? Did you really, babe?
Look, it's right there.
Yeah, but I don't know what kind of magic you're pulling out in that white shirt of yours.
It's white magic. Remember I said white power.
It kind of it had that sort of feel to it. When you read that verse, the sort of oh, death, where is like that sort of
Which one?
When I read that verse,
it's
the
very
power
triumphant.
It's triumphant. And to me, that song had more of that, the Chemist version had more of it sort of had that sort of feel to it, where the other one felt this guy's on death's door. This is it for him. Perhaps this song will change his fate a little bit, but I don't know.
Yeah, it was a really, really, really fascinating lyrical thing to go through. But I mean, it's almost at the point where a song like this is kind of uncoverable, just because of when older people sing with passion. It's like the Hurt? Who did the Hurt cover? So I guess 9 Inch Nails originally did that song. Johnny Cash.
Oh yeah.
9 Inch Nails originally did that song,
No way.
Then Johnny Cash did the cover, and
Oh.
I guess Trent Reznor said after that, he goes, "That's Johnny's song now." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just when older artistic people, because there's so much of their life that they can now review, it's very, very, very hard to top it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's really, really hard to top it.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And so I think that's kind of the problem, where it kind of has a sort of sacrilegious feel to it, because it's
They're so different.
Sonically, it was obviously better. Objectively, it was better sonically. But overall, and this is one of the reasons that I know that we're not just bodies and that the physical universe is not all that there is. Because if that's all there is, then there's no question. But what's happening is the other aspects to the human being are saying, whoa, there's something else going on with this guy that the other band doesn't have. It doesn't matter how pretty it is and how much you do the solo and all the rest of it. There's something else that's really moving here, and that's the immaterial part of humanity that's being moved when you hear that guy sing. But if it's just physics, then obviously you'd have to give it to the other band. You'd have to give it to the band.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. I agree with that. It does make it a little bit difficult to kind of compare them. I agree, because what they're both doing, even though they're doing the same song, they're both doing something different with it.
Yeah, and those guys, I don't care what anybody says, those guys did a good job. And I felt like they respected the song. You know what I'm saying? I felt like they respected the song, but, you know, they're metalheads, so they're going to add, you know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Won't you spare me till another year? Well, this is all... Well, what is this that I can't see with ice cold hands taking hold of me? I am death. None can excel. I'll open the door to heaven or to hell. Whoa, death. Someone would pray. Could you wait to call me another day? The children prayed. The preacher preached. Time and mercy is out of your reach. I'll fix your feet till you can't walk. I'll lock your jaw till you can't talk. I'll close your eyes so you can't see. This very hour, come and go with me. I am death, come to take the soul. Leave the body and leave it cold. Subhanallah. Oh. To draw up the flesh of the frame. Dirt and worm both have a claim. Dirt and worm, you know what I'm thinking about?
Yeah.
You know, the worm doesn't die, because
Yeah.
we're doing really deep diving on the concept of hell, which is probably just death. Won't you spare me till another year? My mother came to my bed, placed a cold towel upon my head. See, that right there is really interesting, because he's talking about his mom.
That's why I said I didn't know if it was like a vision. You know, she probably put cold cloths on his head when he was a child, and here he is. He's so close to death's door. You know, a lot of times, like, people will see people that already passed. And so is he that close where, I mean, death is touching his neck, but now his mother's putting a cold cloth?
I'm going to say it now. I think I've said it before. I cannot stand that term past. It's so gross to me.
What?
It's like, who's John Galt? It's so gross, that term to me. Past. Ugh.
Why?
I can't stand it. I don't particularly know why, but I've never said my mother passed. Like, she died.
Oh, past in that sense. I'm looking,
Yeah, like
I'm looking
past.
like
Like, what
PAST.
do you mean? Like past. Like, ugh. That's just it's a gross term to me. I'm not putting any moral.
What? It's gross.
It's gross to me. Like it
gross, like
it's gross.
Mayonnaise. I don't understand
Yeah.
the context. Like how.
Yeah, like mayonnaise gross to me.
Really?
Yeah, like at that level. Yeah, for sure. I can't stand that.
You'd
term.
rather somebody say died?
Die 100%. Pat, the only euphemism I can countenance for death would be fell asleep, but that's only because Jesus used it. But past, like, cause passed away. What do you mean? Like the person just like faded away? They died. What the fuck? I can't stand it. And like I said, I'm not putting any like moral, like you're a bad person if you say past, or you know there's some deep dark like moral ramifications.
A lot of
to it.
people would
I just
actually
can't
have a
stand
problem
that
with
term.
people saying died instead of saying past. Because died is more.
Well, if I'm talking about their folks,
Yep.
like if somebody were to come to me and say, listen, when you're talking about the death of my so-and-so, just say it as passed away or passed or whatever, I would say that out of, the principle of loving neighbor. But if it's about my folks, and if I'm talking in normal parlance, I always say died or dead or death or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like the term passed away to me is just so
I just think
just
it's
gross.
like an easier term. It doesn't sound so harsh. Died is like. Past is like softer.
Yeah, I can't stand that. And it's not. It's like, ugh. I don't want to talk about it. Like that's how
Oh,
gross
death!
it is.
Please consider my age. Please do not take me at this stage. My wealth is all at your command. If you will move your icy hands. It's such a funny thing to me. Like death cares at all about your money. Why does death need money?
Yeah, I think that's the point of the song, right? Because Death says, I don't care about your money. You know what I'm saying? My head is warm, my feet are cold. You know, back in those days, you didn't have modern medicine. You had a fever, bro. It was a wrap. You know, now your kid has a fever, and it's like, get the Tylenol or the whatever. Although now, you know, with COVID, people are a little bit more like, holy
serious,
shit,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, how serious is this?
And
really?
So we kind of have a taste of what it's like to, you know, but 100 years ago, people were dropping like flies from the fever, man. Like, that's it. You die, bro. Especially your kids. You know, like that's the other thing. Please don't take me at this stage. My wealth is all at your command. If you'll move your icy hand. And then Death says, no wealth, no ruin, no silver, gold satisfies me but your soul. That's a good line. No wealth or ruin. Is that the line? He says no wealth or ruin. Go down to the very last stanza, por favor. No wealth, no land, no silver, no gold. Okay, so it's either land or ruin. Either way, Death is like, nah.
Nothing satisfies me but your soul.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gross.
And then he just ends the song like that. So, and this was a folk song. When somebody says folk song, I picture like happy.
Really?
Yeah, a folk song. Yeah, what do you picture?
I just think it's songs that the folks sang together to talk about life and their experience and all the rest of it. All right.
This is gonna be so difficult to rate.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, the ultimate point of the song is like, look, man, it's when it's your time, it's your time. And it doesn't matter what stage you're in.
Yep.
Doesn't matter if you're young, doesn't matter if you're a baby, like when it's your time, it is your time.
Yep.
Like, so it's interesting because the song was originally written or sang in the 1920s or whatnot. But it was probably written from a guy who was probably, 20, 30 years old. So he was around the 1800s. It's just, back in the past, death was a lot less discriminating, I think, because you were more subject to, the elements, and you were more subject to things like, like COVID. SubhanAllah, COVID was around, of course.
Oh my gosh.
Of course, the circumstances by which that particular ailment has spread to the world probably wouldn't be around at that time. But let's just say it was.
Right.
It would have wiped out, I don't know, probably
oh my gosh,
50 times more the amount of people, and you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And all of us were like, okay, well, we got to get a vaccine for it. Those people would have been like, what? Like, we gonna die, bro. So we've got 8 kids. So my point is just like, I think like you would have felt the effects. There was no hospice. There's no like, we're gonna let you die in some nice humane hospital, and then the whole village knew so and so was dying. Joe was dying, grandfather Joe, whoever, and your family would basically be with you as you were taking your last breath. And people were just more cognizant of death. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so we are a lot more able to kind of push it out of our minds with all the entertainment and all the rest of it that we have.
And it's not just that. It's also, we have hospitals now. So when somebody gets sick, they go to a hospital, and the hospital takes care of everything, and we don't deal with any of that anymore. Just like back in the day, they displayed their family member in their living room for X amount of days before they buried them. Like, death was a deep part of your experience, and you're not escaping it. Like, it's hard to just put that out of your head when the person's right there in your living room. So yeah, definitely glad we have hospitals.
Yeah
Okay, so this one's hard for me to rate because they're so different. I almost think I'm gonna rate it in parts. So the concept of it was good. I think it's an important topic. But even the way that it was put, although it was an older song, I'm gonna give a 7 for like the topics, lyrics, stuff like that, on both. Although I do kind of like the way that Chemist did the lyrics better. They didn't go through the whole lyrics. They just kind of like did a piece of it, and I felt like it packed a little bit bigger of a punch. Although the old guy made me feel like he was right on death's door.
Right.
I'm having a hard time with this, a real hard time. You go ahead.
Oh, it's not difficult for me at all. I think that, people saying it's a 10 or the original's a 10 or 11. I think that's just because we're trying to pay respect to the fact that this was a real human moment.
Yeah.
And it's very, very rare. And I respect the hell out of that. That is, but as far as, like I said, you're going to give the Beatles a 3.5. You're always going to get the real. I like the cover song a lot better. As far as what did I like the cover song a lot better. What song was more meaningful? Oh, easy. The first one was more meaningful.
Yeah.
Because of the surrounding situation and the guy's own personal historical context. But what song was better as far as on the ears and complexity, all these things that you use to mark beauty? The second song to me ranked higher. The second song to me was 8.9. The original, I give it a good 7. I give it a good. The second one was obviously, to me, superior sonically, and that's not even a question. But it's like there's a lot of Christian music. You know what I'm saying? That there's a lot of Negro spirituals that I'll say are, Wait on the Water. That's a waited. God's gonna trouble the waters and all that shit. My ancestors were singing and all that shit when your wicked ass ancestors were. But I don't like that song. Like, it's a deep song and it's meaningful and it's powerful, but I don't like that song. I respect it. I respect what, the historical context.
Yeah. But
like, I like Korn's Got the Life much better than that song. So if you're asking me, okay, what song sounds better and whatever, and what song would you listen to again if you had to listen to these two songs, I would listen to the second one.
Yeah.
It's not even close. So as a matter of fact, I want to increase the gap. So I'll give it a 7 for the original. I'm going to give the other one an 8. I'm going to give the other one a 9, a solid 9. There you go.
Okay. So the cover is 8.7. The original, boy. Honestly, I'm going between like a 6.2 and a 7.4. So 6.75 on the original.
Yeah. Which one was more deep and meaningful? I mean, we all know the answer to that. We all know the answer to that. We all know the answer. That was probably one of the, aside from Daddy, that was probably one of the rawest human moments you're gonna get. Not on this channel. I'm talking about in music ever. Just because this guy's looking at the last stage of his life. Shout out to him. And so shout out to him and all those people. So that was deep. That was deep and raw as hell, for sure. All right, dear listener. I really like this format.
This idea.
I really do.
Yeah.
Whoever came up with this is a genius on that side.
See,
and I'm pissed that we only have one more of these to do. Fucking. Anyway, guys, there you are, dear listener. Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone. That was. Woo. That was dim. What about Judith? Yeah, Judith was also deep. I'm just talking about like when you're. Yeah. I'm just talking about like when you're caught off guard. You know what I'm saying? Like the first one caught me off guard because it was kind of eerie because there was no music. It was just his voice, and then because I saw what the guy looked like because we were doing. I was trying to make sure we weren't getting official videos because I really didn't want this video to be blocked, especially considering we were late and all this other shit. So I saw this is a pretty old dude even before I heard. So I knew he was very, very old. And so that's the thing. It just like caught me off guard how desperate he was, but I could tell he still had a voice, and there was no music behind it. It was just him, and it was like a real. I felt uncomfortable, like in a good way. Like, yo, I'm like really listening in on a conversation I shouldn't be listening in on. You know what I'm saying? It felt like that, and the same thing with Daddy. Like when you got to the end of Daddy, and then Jonathan just has this meltdown. Like you really feel like I really shouldn't be listening in here. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what I meant, you know. But holy smokes, man, that's pretty crazy. Do you remember that 9/11 call at the end of the Battle of My Song? Yes, I do remember that one. For sure. For sure. River Stream is coming up soon. I love the Battle of My Song. Such a great album. Yeah, that Battle of My Song. That was deep. That was a deep song. Really deep song. Sori's getting into true crime. Although, I don't know. It's like she said today. She's probably always been into true crime, but probably felt too, weird to indulge in it. So that's a fascinating thing to be looking at. So what do you guys think of true crime? Like, do you feel bad watching true crime stuff, especially if the person ends up dead? Like, we just watched a true crime one about this guy. He was what's that dating app? It's Winder. Something rhymes with swindler. There's a dating app that you can use, and you swipe right if you like the guy. There's something. The Tinder Swindler is the name of this. There it is. So Andronicus knows. The Tinder Swindler is the name. So anyway, this guy, it was a very elaborate plan, and this guy's probably like a sociopath, like a grade A sociopath. But long story short, he meets these girls on Twitter, on Tinder. He acts like he's a, this rich playboy, and that he creates Google articles about his dad, who's this multi-billionaire, diamond whatever, and the whole thing's bullshit. And then he somehow finds ways to get these girls to give him money. So he swindled this one girl out of 250,000 euros, which euros are actually more expensive than dollars, and that's how he ends up in the private jets and stuff. Because when he meets the new girl, he's flying or driving on the dime of the previous girl. I mean, it's just unbelievably horrifically terrible
multiple girls at the same time.
So that one,
crazy.
That one is pretty. It's low key.
Low key what?
It's
not horrible to watch. Like,
well, nobody dies.
Yeah.
But there is a couple times when the girl, especially, there's one that's kind of naive and
honestly, you know what? Disney,
I felt bad for her.
Disney fucked up so many girls with Beauty and the Beast that, like, I understand Beauty and the Beast was a story well before Disney went and put it out there. But it's not like, if you actually read the original stories, like for instance, a Cinderella story in the original, when the sisters' feet can't fit in the shoes, they cut their own toes off to fit them in the shoes, and the blood is just dripping from the shoes. Nobody puts that in the real Disney one. Like, there's all these, like, they're really, really dark stories. And so Beauty and the Beast, the way that they do Beauty and the Beast, he's troubled, he's a prince. He was one way, but now he's spent this time being a beast, and now possibly he's changed, and then she changes him, and he softens, and then they have true love's kiss, and then he turns into a prince, and he's no longer a beast, and Like, it looks one way if you don't realize the terrible narrative that it is. Like, he was a beast, and then she thinks she can change him. And there's so many girls that have that savior complex. They probably call it something different. They see a guy that's troubled. You know, he's been in a bad place. Oh, I want to save him. I want to help him. And they have this idea that there's going to be this romance, this love that's involved in it. And it can get really, really, really dark. And a lot of girls, like this girl explicitly said, like, she had the entire thing memorized. And to be honest with you, a friend of mine that probably, shit, they both went through a lot of stuff. But the one that went through the whole, like, beast dynamic loved Beauty and the Beast. She had the whole thing memorized. She could sing all the songs, all of it. And she did the same thing. She'd go with these horrible, horrible ass men, and she would think that she was going to make them better. You know, and in the end, she landed with a guy that was like, you know, no offense, but just, you know, not somebody that was trying to make really anything up for himself or of himself. And just kind of like whenever I met him, he was just like, hey, you know, what's up? Smoking pot all the time. Like, he was just like mad chill. But I mean, let's face it, ladies. I think that's probably cool to have like a friend like that, but to spend the rest of your life with someone like that, that's going to be the man that's going to help you raise your children. That's going to be the man that's going to, you know, you guys are going to contend together and build something together. It's not going to happen. I mean, so that's on its way. That's done now also. So I just think Beauty and the Beast is a pretty...
Your Grace, it's not a music history channel. It's a reaction channel.
What's happening? Somebody's melting down. We have another melter.
I don't know how else to say it. Okay, dear listener, we're on the way with part 2. We're not going to tell you what the original and the cover is until the other side of the commercial. You dumb butts. We shall return. Turn. I'm Vin.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option, as Sori says. 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at insori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed.
And a child shall lead them.
All right, dear listener, I am Vincent.
And I am Soraya. But I go by Sori. Don't call me Soraya. Vinny can do that.
We are, and her mom, we are about to watch, here's the thing we're going to do, okay? So we're going to listen to 2 bands. One is the original, one is the cover. Then we're going to compare what we hear sonically. Then we're going to do the lyrics. And then we're going to decide which one we like and which one's better, okay? All right. Having said that, dear listener, the time has arrived. The name of this band is Dawn, and the name of the song,
The
Dawn
Knell
and Song Rhymes.
of the World.
The Knell and the World, dear listener.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know that you guys always see the lyrics at the beginning. We will put the lyrics kind of in the end, maybe, or maybe on the second song. The point is to listen to how these affect us sonically right now.
How
Okay,
they affect us.
So how they affect us. Okay, guys, here we go.
Okay, wait. For the covers poll, we submitted both the original, you haven't done it before, and the cover. This version by Dawn is the original. At this point in their career, they were considered melodic black metal or melodic death metal. This is the first song off the album Slaughter Son, Crown of the
Slaughter
Triarchy,
Son.
released in 1998.
Crown of the Triarchy. Mm-hmm. I like what these people do with words.
I like it.
And this was Kellendross. Was this Kellendross's pick?
I don't know if it was Kellendross's pick or if Kellendross is the one that put this in there for us to get the goods. Well, Kellendross is the leader, so.
Kellendross is probably... I've talked to Kellendross at length once upon a time. He's probably one of the most unique individuals
Really?
you're going to meet.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like... I wish Kellendross would, like, have a channel and, like, promote it a lot. He just has these really... They're not, like, weird. They're just, like, a little bit like, huh? And then
He said, no, actually, my pick was Death, Painkiller.
Paint Killer?
I thought he said Painkiller.
Oh, Painkiller. Okay. All right, guys. Here we go.
Okay, let's go.
Dawn, the Knell, and the World.
The World.
Let's go.
Okay.
Bro.
That drummer was pretty ridiculous.
Bro. Bro. That drummer, man.
He was pretty ridiculous.
Everybody knows I love the tremolo shit.
This is the first time I've ever thought that a drummer made me feel like there was rising action in his drumming.
Yeah.
It like kind of.
I mean,
yeah, I don't know. That's the first time.
The drums were absolutely insane in this song.
Yeah, I would agree, 1,000%.
I mean, unbelievably, absolutely insane. And this guy, it's a human drummer, because that was one of the.
It's a
I
human.
wonder if it's gonna be one of the things, you know what I'm saying, where the guy is like drumming, but he's not really drumming. No.
Yeah.
Dude was really, 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 really drumming, and you know we got to get to the next thingamajiggy.
This is so fun doing it this way. Okay, so the next one we're gonna do is a cover for the same song. The band that does it is the name of their band is Woe. So this is the cover of Dawn's "The Nella in the World." Woe is a black metal band from the USA. Okay. This cover was released on their 2019 EP of Violent Dread. So wait a minute. This one's from the USA, and the other one was from where?
I just want to know how the hell people are gonna
You guys, Dawn is stationed where? I want to know. This is USA
Google
versus who? This is USA versus who?
just put Dawn black metal band in Google.
Yep. That's what I'm gonna do.
I want to see what this next band, if this next band, if the drummer can keep up. Dawn are Swedish, and that's coming from Perkinos, so you can book it. You can book it. All right, guys, here we go.
Yes, they are a Swedish band.
Here we go.
So this is Sweden versus the USA.
Here we go.
USA! Oh, wait, we got to listen to the song first. Go ahead, babe. Go ahead.
You're funny. All right, guys, here we go. Here's the cover! I can play this part.
Yeah, sure, it does sound like something like... Oh man.
Damn.
So right off the bat, when it first started, I was like, eh. And then it kept just getting better and better and better. And then his vocal style changed, and it got that desperate sound to it, which I love.
Wait, what are you talking about? Both of them, or
I'm talking about this second song.
This second one.
The second one
Okay,
specifically.
the vocal style.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. Well, I didn't like the vocal style at first, but like I said, but then it got to a point where it was like
Yeah.
desperate
It's
sounding.
that
in
middle
got a little ridiculous.
Okay, so first of all, we just listened to 18 minutes pretty much of the same song.
Yep.
Did it feel like 18 minutes to you?
No, it didn't.
We just listened to a band a couple days ago. It was 12 minutes, and it felt like what was that band? I think I put it out of my. It was your band, Opeth.
Oh,
It was the Blackwater Park song. Allahu Akbar. That song. It was only 12 minutes, but how long did it feel to you?
it felt 15 minutes.
Shout out to Opeth. They're great musicians, but
15 minutes.
subhanallah.
15 minutes.
All
Sorry.
right, what felt longer? Listening to the Blackwater Park or this song back to back?
Blackwater Park all day long. It was, yeah.
Shout out to Opeth, but holy shit.
I still think Harlequin Forest was good, and it needed to be the length that it was.
2 minutes long. 2 minutes too long.
All right.
So here's what I'm gonna say. I came into the second song. I came into the cover song. Yeah, the guitar was decent. I mean, they're great musicians. It was great musicians. Opeth was. I mean that. I said it in the review, but holy shit! I just felt all 12 of those minutes. SubhanAllah. So I'm gonna tell you guys, I was absolutely biased coming into the cover because that drummer,
Right on the original was just
the drummer on the first song.
Yep.
He
had our attention, that's for sure.
I literally had an emotional connection. And you know what? I'm starting to discover? I love passionate people and people who push themselves. You know, like if we go to the sauna, it's got to be, I did 53 minutes in 250 degree, whatever. Like it's got to be, I love people. That's why I love Brady. Come back, Tom. Come back. The game needs you. Don't worry about your family.
Wow.
They'll always be there. Take them for granted. What about us? What about me?
Oh, you're giving him advice you wouldn't take for yourself.
I just shout out to Zombie Holic, one of our people. Okay. So anyway, that drummer really converted me because I do not think I've heard drumming like that in a very long time.
Yeah, I don't usually notice the drumming. I love the drumming, and I have a hard time following music that doesn't have drums involved.
Right.
But I heard that drummer, and I heard him throughout the whole thing, and I was like, wow, this is really good. I like this. So that speaks as well.
Yeah. So I was so attached to that guy emotionally because I felt like I don't think I've ever seen anybody
Yeah.
put out. And I'm gonna, after this is over, I'm gonna YouTube this and be like, yo, I want to see him do this shit live.
Yep.
I want to see him do that shit live. But I don't think I've ever seen anybody put out like that on drums in my life. So I was very biased toward the first band because, I just love the drummer. The second band came on, so I was already against them. I was like, these guys. And I was like, I want to hear this drummer. And I think Kel is right. They didn't emphasize the drums as much, but the vocal style was the most noticeable difference to me. What was the most noticeable difference to you?
Yeah, the vocal style is what I picked up on right away. The vocal style was different, and I thought that the second song, you could understand it more clearly.
Right.
Like, I didn't look at the lyrics, and I could pick up on some of the lyrics. Where the previous song, like, I think Amy Lee Forever was basically like, this kind of stuff. You could say anything you wanted, and nobody would even know. But where the second one, you could hear, it was a little bit more legible.
Amy can't stand the Cookie Monster stuff.
Yeah.
So, go ahead, keep going.
So there was that. I noticed the drumming in the first one was just incredible. The thing, like, I felt like that the first song just was like stayed steadily good the whole time. Not like, you guys know me, I'm not like a black metal person, but it's still like
racist.
Yeah, I'm very racist. It still like had like, it stayed the same through the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like you're like, it's a shit song at the beginning and it got better. It wasn't like it was a great song at the beginning and it got worse. It was just steady. This one, however, from my opinion, it started out, I was like, fuck this song. I like the one before. Even though this one was from the USA. When I originally started, I was like, USA! And then it started and I was like, never mind. I liked the other one better. And then as the song progressed, though, probably like, how long was the song in total?
It was 9 minutes and a second long.
Okay, so probably like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, something like that in. Like, the song was like steadily increasing. Probably around the part where his vocal style changed and it got like real desperate sounding.
Right in the middle.
Yeah, and then it just kept like increasing for me. I was like,
once
okay.
it got to the middle, I was like, I was like, there's a lot. The only criticism I'll have for the second band, which might hurt the scoring for this band, is that if you look at the first two songs, if you look at the first two songs that we reviewed, they're so different. It's the same song, but it was so like that band.
We got the two different types.
Really put the stamp on it. Really put the stamp on it. Whereas this one
seemed like they were competing for almost the same thing.
But I just think that the drummer was so crazy that it's like, it's almost like a challenge to yourself. Like, can we do this? See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can we do this? But there wasn't a lot of variation, I don't think, from the original in the cover, which you know, kinda. It'll kind of hurt. It'll kind of hurt the score a little bit.
You said not a lot of variation?
Yeah, there was almost the major
but remember we
variation
talked about
was the
there's
vocal
two
style.
different types of like covers. One is where you take the song and you friggin' do your own thing, and the other one is where you stick to the script and you try to be better. So it's interesting that the two types that we talked about are, you know, displayed in this very stream.
Yeah. I will say that I like this vocal style a lot better than the first vocal style.
Yeah, I mean, for me, there wasn't a lot of material difference until he got to the desperate sounding, and then I was like, this is clearly better.
I noticed it. I noticed they
sounded differently, but I didn't feel better about one or the other, is what I'm saying. Where immediately when you heard it, you were like, I like this better.
Yeah, it was immediate. Yeah, I immediately liked it better because it was more.
Did you see the
solid, more masculine? The other one was a little bit more ethereal and a little bit more like Banshee-like, which is okay in segments. But I like the raw, like meat. But of course, it's an American band. It's more meat and potatoes. So I like that. But there really wasn't much aside from that. And you know, Cal talked about production. I think the Swedish band, the first band, I think Dawn is the name of the band.
Thanks, Zombieholic.
Glad you guys are streaming. I need company. Horrible day. Felt like throwing myself.
Oh, jeez.
Holy shit. Damn, Zombieholic.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm really working on my sleep to try to and it's helping. Like I'm a lot less intolerable to my family.
You're like another person.
So if sleep is a chronic issue, you really I encourage you to go get that checked out.
I don't know how somebody can go through extended periods of not proper sleep and it not like affect them as a person.
Yeah, I mean, in other situations, you know, being cranky, but being able to function.
Yeah. Well, you were still functioning though.
I was a high functioning lack of sleep person, but
Yeah.
In certain organizations that you know, that's okay.
Yeah.
They'll celebrate you for it, but your family and just in general and your friends like us, it's a lot better if you get some naps in between. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
Zombie, I encourage you to go see a doctor, especially if you're having those, you know, thoughts. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, for sure.
I'm seeing my doctor, and I encourage all of you to see your doctor.
Yep.
Especially
he fought
in this
it tooth and nail, but now he's going.
Yeah, I fought a tooth and nail, but you know, really at the end of the day, it's I'm like, you know what? Holy shit. And plus, guys, with this environment and COVID and all the shit that's happening, all the stress everybody's under, we all
give
could
yourself
probably
a friggin' break.
do well to go see a doctor anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was a bonus. Back to your regular scheduled program.
Okay,
I do want to touch on some of the lyrics.
Yeah, let's
we
go to the
will
lyrics.
vote on the song.
We will, just be
which
patient.
which one is best?
Be patient.
What's my diagnosis or diagnonsense? I think she meant diagnosis. I will. I'll text you. I'll text you after Amy.
The dawn. Where's that other one?
Yeah, it's called Whoa is the other one.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay. Trust the black inside and suffocate the light in me. That's a pretty crazy line.
Whoa, what did it say?
You are so pretty. God almighty. That blue
It's that
light
blue
on
light, babe.
thing over there. I was like, oh my
It's
gosh.
the blue light.
That woman is beautiful. That's my wife. Ah! Oh my God. Oh my God. And you're smart. And you're a very good business partner. Yeah. All right. This has nothing to do with the song. But holy shit.
Everybody
I
needs
love
to
you
have
so
a
much,
husband
bro.
that will celebrate them.
Okay.
Okay.
Trust the black inside and suffocate the light in me. That's a freaking. That's really good.
I
mean,
know.
terrible,
That was
but
like such a terrifying line when I heard it. I was like, what?
I'm a very big believer on the opening line, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big believer in the first song on the record, the first song on a live show, and the first line in a song. Like those three, like that.
First.
You got to knock those out of the park. And that line right there, trust the black inside and suffocate the light in me. That is crazy.
It is
Throw the stones to kill the truth. Deception must be absolute. Especially as a you know, coming from a hip hop background, heavy music to me is heavier when it rhymes. Actually,
I agree.
there's just something
And I don't
to
have a
me
hip-hop
when I see when I see heavy music and it's got rhyming words, like that's like how did you interpret that? Trust the black inside and suffocate the light in me.
Well, I just took it as like that, the darkness that kind of like, you know, we talk about the shadow self, stuff like that darkness that's inside all of us. And you kind of, you know, like in cartoons when we were kids, they had like the little demon and the angel on the shoulder that would talk to you. And so trust the black inside was like that darkness, that depression, that everything inside of you that is like that darkness that wants to, like the darkness wants to overtake the light. But you know, some people battle with it. Some people just let the darkness take over. Some people fight it like hell and mostly, you know, give room for the light. But this guy was like, just trust, because I think that, you know, when you're slipping into unhealthy lifestyles mentally and stuff like that, like there is a part of you that says, this is healthy. I should not fight this. You know? So to me, it was that. And suffocate the light in me. Throw the stones that kill the truth. Deception must be absolute. So that's what it was. But I don't know if further on in the song we find out more of what the darkness is. That's what the darkness was when I heard that part.
I remember being in in high school in a very, very specific situation where I consciously said, I'm going to do evil. but it was one of those things where you had to like completely sell out internally. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to do it.
Wow. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was.
Well, wait a minute. You're talking like an event, or are you talking like a lifestyle?
No, it was a situation.
Oh, so it was an event. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think this guy's talking about an event. I think he's talking about a lifestyle, but carry on.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about like, obviously, as a Christian, it's impossible to live a lifestyle of trusting in the darkness within you.
Yeah.
You trust in your sinful nature. But like, that was part of it, is that you know, it's not even things that you're brought up not believing. It's just that everybody knows you're not supposed to do XYZ thing.
I mean, we could even use that example. There was like this video of somebody right before they either stabbed somebody or they shot somebody. I'm not really sure which one it was. But you could tell that they were kind of like, and they couldn't decide what they were going to do. And then all of a sudden, I think they had said, fuck it, or something like that. And as soon as that was, then they went in with all of their, and there's like that moment where you're like, I'm doing it. So.
Yeah, because you have all these inhibitions, but,
Yeah.
If you turn certain corners and it's I didn't have a father figure to tell me this, but there's no excuses, because quite frankly, even if I did, it probably wouldn't have changed anything. But it's that you're turning a corner, and that there's certain things you cannot take back. Once you've done, you can't take them back. Mm-hmm. But it was highly emotional time for everybody, and I'm already a very, very emotional person, and
Wow,
so you just say like, okay, okay, and so it's like you had to embrace that ugly part of yourself and suppress parts of yourself that are like, yo, what are you doing? Hey, we're gonna be a different person after. That's very interesting.
That is very
but
interesting.
and yeah, I mean, I'm a completely different person, but yeah, so that line is just pretty crazy, because like and we also saw it when we listened to Macbeth. Mm-hmm. Where she's like praying to the spirits, unsex me and replace my mother's milk with poison and all this shit. Like that line in Macbeth, where Lady Macbeth she knows this is gonna make us turn a corner.
Yeah,
we're gonna turn a corner here,
but she didn't realize what it was going to be. Like, I felt like, of course, I've never read the play. I've just seen the two reenactments of it, but you could tell that when she said, fill me, and she like went through that whole big thing that she did. Yeah. And she went on her way, like she was still judging her husband for not having the strength to really go forward and do this thing.
Yeah, she said he wasn't a man.
Yeah, once he did, and then she had to go back there because he came back with the daggers. When she had to take the daggers back to the location of the death, and she saw the body, it fucked her up. She wasn't right. That's when she started, and then after that, because remember she said she was the one that was washing her hands, saying who knew the man would have so much blood on him, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So she would have never seen that if he didn't come back with the daggers, but she had to return the daggers, and then she saw, and then that was like that started like twisting her, and then she just kept getting worse and worse and worse. So making the decision to do something crazy, I think does change you, but especially when the action takes place, it's like that's a whole nother level.
Because the problem is, the farther you get from the action, the farther you get from the justification.
Oh,
see,
God.
that's the issue. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh.
When you're in the middle of it, you're like, yeah, whatever. Oh, they deserve it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Blah, blah. But the farther you get from it, all you see is what you did.
Right.
And the justification is gone, because the heat of passion of the moment is not there anymore.
Right. Well, maybe that's why he says, throw the stones that kills the truth. Deception must be absolute.
Right. Because you have to deceive yourself to get to that point.
Wow.
You have to completely lie to yourself. And there it is. Let fevers rave and ravage the deluded minds of all. Surrender to atrocity. and yield by our fall, stigmata children, malady spawn, downward resolution, the coming of dawn. This motherfucker, he can freaking write his ass off. Holy shit. He can write. This guy can write. But yeah, and I was just talking about like being in the heat of passion, like being in the heat of a moment. And you that's where you like say like, okay, I'm going to suppress all the light in me. I'm going to embrace darkness because I'm in this heat of passion or feverish rage, and it deludes your mind. And that's why, Dorian was in a situation, was it last week? And it was a situation where normally, I jump up and I say, hey, and I get in the middle and something, I'll whatever. But he's grown now and he's graduated to the point where like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that in that situation. And I told him, I said, bro, you're not going to be able to take that back if you do that. And I just sat where I was. You know what I'm saying? And I, he's, in our relationship, a lot of it is just, it's a discipleship relationship. The father-son thing is definitely there, obviously. But at some point as a parent, you got to kind of take that risk and roll the dice and believe that all that you've taught them is going to be actioned without you always getting up and actually intervening.
Yeah, because you're not going to be there for the rest of their lives. It's like you're not going to leave a flotation device on your kids all the time. You're not going to leave training wheels on their bikes all the time. Eventually, you have to get to a point where you say, all right, it's time to make your decisions, and they have to, if kids don't have the understanding that there are going to be consequences, just natural consequences that come from bad actions, then they could end up doing so much. Like there's so many parents like that don't want to say no to their kids. They don't want to set those things. They don't want to give the kids the opportunity to make the mistakes. And then what ends up happening is all of a sudden it's time for the kids to go out on their own, and they're so used to mommy and daddy bailing them out on everything that now they don't, they're in a lot worse situation because the cops or whatever, somebody's going to end up stopping them. So I think that it's good that the kids are given the opportunity to, on stuff that's not, you have to give them little things at first and let them. Yeah,
there was a lot of trust. That was a grown man move that he made to control himself.
Yeah, and
he did a great job.
And what you told him was for him to look to the future because, we've said it a bunch of times. There are certain actions or thought processes and behaviors and negative things that if held on to and acted upon will end up making your life worse. Bitterness, for instance. If you can't learn to forgive somebody or learn to say, okay, this person, I need to separate myself from this person because they're going to continue doing this or that action and they are not sorry for it at all. But if you, that's the thing. Like you spoke about the future to him in that moment. You only said a few words and you spoke about the future. And that was enough to say, you know what? He chose rather than, what he, rather than doing what he wanted to do in the moment, he did what was best to be a loving person in the future. And that was a big time game time decision. And it was good. He did really good.
Yeah, he did a really good job. A lot to ask of a 16-year-old kid.
That's what I was going to say. Way too much was being asked of him. But he came through.
He did the right thing.
Yep.
But like, yeah, lyrically, this song is absolutely insane because, you can look at it as these are instructions, just go crazy and kill shit. You know what I'm saying? Or you can look at it like, this is a precautionary tale. Like, if you are the kind of person that suppresses all the goodness in you, the light in you, the voice of God, the light of conscience, Jiminy Cricket, whatever you want to call it. The New Testament calls it suppressing the truth and unrighteousness, where you suppress the truth and embrace darkness because you want to do a certain action or you want to live a certain way. You can get to the point where you do that so much that your mind becomes enveloped with darkness. As Romans 1 says, God gave them over to a depraved mind to do the things which ought not to be done. And, you know, when God, especially now,
I feel like a lot of us have seen examples of that. Like, if you think
100%.
about all the people you've known, I think you can probably locate somebody that you're like, yo, that person went too far now. Look at them. They literally went to look at them.
Yeah, and there's and you know, and everybody knows in the inner
torment.
city. In the inner city, everybody knows the story. Like, there's been, you know, like if I'd have went, you know,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's hard enough to get over that shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Much less like to live that way and live in that kind of, you know. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like if you do that enough to where you're constantly suppressing light and embracing darkness, you can get to the point where you essentialize yourself as a dark person, where you're basically dark, and you make mistakes and do good things, you know, by accident. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when I talk about original sin, I do not mean that everybody is like completely dark and you accidentally do good things.
Yeah.
Right? But there are people.
Philip, you can. I agree.
There are people who essentialize themselves into darkness.
Yep.
And it's like, what do you think is going on with a serial killer? What do you think is going on with these people who make a career out of sexually assaulting women? And you can tell, you know, and I have a family member who,
a lot of times they ingest a lot of darkness before they do that
100%,
action.
and you can tell they hate women, and you can tell that they fear women as well. Mm-hmm. They fear feminine power, and so I'm going to do this thing to even the scales and all this other shit. Like it's a real spiral of complexity of just horrifying evil, and so like.
Yeah.
I would caution against that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
Because that shit will bring you down to roads where you stand. I was talking to a really close friend of mine, and we were looking at somebody who has gone down that path, and she said, well, you know, who am I to judge this person? Yada, yada, yada. I don't know the circumstances, yada, yada, yada. And it was about a particular sin that I have no tolerance for. And I initially was offended. And then God was like, she's 100% right. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, what, do you think that if I didn't restrain you that you're better than... And it's like, I'm grateful to God that he, you know, some things I'm like, yo, why'd you let me do that or whatever? But as far as like, he's never let me just walk down, you know.
Oh, I know.
Because I struggle enough as it is with violent ideation and things of that nature, or, oh, let's use violence to solve this problem or whatever.
Yeah. And
it could have been, you know, it could have been a lot worse, but yeah. So I take the song as a cautionary tale. It's not an instruction manual. It's not saying, you know, yes, be this horrible and evil. You know what I'm saying? It's not. I'm not taking it that way. I'm taking it as more of a precautionary tale, and something that all of us would do well to listen to. Because I think there's a big difference, to Sean's point, there's a big difference between doing dumb shit or just being generally selfish. There's a big difference between that and purposefully
like he did in the song, like it was on purpose. He made that decision. Here's an interesting verse. I really like Proverbs. They're like, I like quotes. I like Proverbs. I like something short that has like a lot of meaning. I actually think I like the concept of it, that you can pack so much into something so small. Like, how big can you pack into how small?
Right. Yep.
Because we know you can pack a big into we know you can pack a small into something big. We've seen people do it all the time. All this talking, and you're like, okay, let's just pick out there the couple things. That's all we needed.
Right.
Like the Opeth song. Okay.
There's this one guy that was saying, Sawyer liked the song, but Vin convinced her.
Why does
he poisoned her mind?
I find that so offensive when people say that. It literally gets said to me all the time. I disagree with Vin when I want to disagree with
It's
Vin.
low-key misogynistic.
It really is. It's
but,
ridiculous.
You know, it is what it is.
But if I would have liked the song like you, then you would have said I was thinking for myself.
Well, I wasn't able to convince you to not give the Beatles a 3.5.
But that gets
I'm
that.
pretty sure that happened in the same fucking night.
It did. It did. Anyway, so let's get back to the proverb. Okay, so it says, the eye is the lamp of the body. If your eyes are healthy, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eyes are unhealthy, your whole body will be full of darkness. If then the light within you is darkness, how great is that darkness? That's a crazy, crazy verse. And I think that kind of, we talked before about, the things that you take in, it's going to have an effect on who you are as a person. And so, I was just talking to somebody about the importance of being an avid reader, reading things and learning concepts and things beyond outside of yourself. So I'd encourage everybody to pick up a book and start reading. Do something healthy instead of making poor decisions. But anyway, that idea, if then the light within you is darkness, how great is that darkness? That is like literally terrifying. I've read that verse a bunch of times.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I think like this last phase of like I was talking to you guys about before, where I was like making unhealthy decisions with my mental health. And since I've been making healthy decisions with my mental health, I'm like, okay, that's true. If you're dark inside, like everything is fucking fucked up. You're just like a mess. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, the next verse is cool too. I'm just going to throw this one out there, but we can go back to the song. No one can serve two masters. Either you will hate the one and love the other, or you will be devoted to one and despise the other. Then you can't serve both God and money. So interesting because of that message earlier from that person, but carry on.
Which person?
Remember that Facebook thing that I was in? And I was saying universal health care is so important. That's what we need.
Yeah. Fuck those sick people.
Leave it to the Christians to say, you better go and find out what's going to do your finances.
People. All right. So this is a battle of the bands. What do you got? Who do you give the nod to?
Okay, I'm going with the Dawn.
The first band.
No, I'm sorry.
That's Whoa.
I'm so sorry. I'm going with Whoa.
You're going with Whoa.
I'm going with Whoa.
You're going with Whoa.
I am. Yes. Shout out to the US.
Over the original band.
Yes, because I kind of liked that. I thought it was a little bit like meh at the beginning, and then it just kept getting better and better and better. So yeah, it's yeah. I'm going. Right, I'm gonna. They win. Whoa wins.
Rate the song.
So, I think "Knell in the World," the "Knell in the World" by the Dawn. I'm gonna give them an 8.2, and then I'm gonna give "Whoa" 8.9.
Okay, black metal is my favorite genre, and this is probably my favorite subgenre in black metal. I don't know if it's melodic black metal. I don't know what kind of black metal it is, but this is my favorite subgenre within black metal. Probably metal overall. Probably music overall. I like the vocal style of the second one so much better than the first one. But here's my thing. I think it's melodic black metal. Aladdin, I never pronounced that word properly, but Aladdin said,
"Oh, that's true." Kel says you gotta factor in that the original band wrote the song, and the other ones didn't. So the lyrical content and that stuff goes to them.
Oh,
you don't even.
I don't really factor that into the cover because I'm listening to I'm listening at sonically what's going on. Mm-hmm. But Aladdin said something, and I think it solidified it for me. Because the song was so close to the original, you have to get... Okay, well, then this is where what Kellendross is saying, because when he says wrote the song, it's not just the lyrics. They wrote the song.
Yeah.
They wrote everything. So every note, every guitar, every drum, whatever, Woe's version was recorded 22 years later.
Oh man, I don't know. Yeah.
And, you know, you've got superior technicians and all the rest of it, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so between what Kel said and what Aladdin said, I'm actually going to give it to Dawn. I'm going to give it to Dawn. It's Eldon. It's Eldon. Irish, not Arabic, but it's all good. Okay. So Eldon,
Aladdin.
I said Aladdin. Because in Arabic you pronounce like every whatever. But I think he's right. I think he's in Kel and Johnson. I think that I've got to give it to Dawn because they were so they mimicked the song exactly and then just kind of remixed the vocal style. And that drumming, and I think the second guy, the second drummer, whoever he was, I think he did a decent job. I think he did a really, really decent job. I think he did, he wasn't bad, and he's a badass himself. And anybody who can play that song that way is a badass. But I'm sorry, there's a 22-year gap, and you don't sound that much better.
Yeah, I know.
And they came up with all that. I gotta lean. Okay, so 9.4.
What?
For Dawn. It's not. You're not a black metal fan. You don't even understand. I'm not gonna try to explain it to you. Okay.
Rude.
But of course I can get you to change your score anytime I please.
That's true.
Because you're so weak-minded. You're so weak-minded. Sorry. Look at this. Look at this right here. Entire experience was a negative 7.8.
Oh, a negative. I was like, oh, 80 gave it a higher score than I expected, a 7.8. Okay, so you gave it a what? 9.
I gave it a 9.3, I think I said.
Okay, 9.3. All right, and then I think you maybe said 9.4. I'm not sure. Okay, so then what about the other one? What about Woe?
Woe is going to get a solid 8.8.
Okay, I thought it was going to be 8.7.
Woe did a solid 8. Woe was badass. They were really, really good. There just wasn't enough variation for me. I definitely like that the production was way higher quality, you could tell. And the I love the vocal style a lot better. It's much more difficult to judge this one than the first two for me. The first two was simple. Yeah. Like literally 2 minutes into the second one, I said, "Oh, okay, this is over." It was over. But this one was very, very difficult. And like I said, Woe almost, if there would have been a little bit more sonical musical variation, it would have been a lot tougher. It probably would have switched because they were really, really, really close.
Yeah, if you would have traded the drummers, because the drummer from the first one was better than the drummer from the second one.
Yeah.
And so if they would have had the superior drummer, then it would have been.
I was just very, very biased toward that drummer coming into the second song. Woe had a lot to overcome with me.
Yeah.
They had a lot to overcome, and I think they did. And I think the only thing that's really, I'm just looking at technicalities. The only thing I could say is that there wasn't enough variation to justify putting them over the original band. And I'm even more impressed that there was a 22 years. There was a 22-year.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Gap, and
yeah,
and they were right there.
Neil, I think you're right about your assessment.
Yeah. So, this was really, really fun, guys. This is really, really,
hopefully
really,
you guys
really
do
fun.
this again. But,
Hopefully we have these. Hopefully
you're the boss, not us.
Huh?
They're the boss, not us. So whatever.
Yeah,
we wouldn't like it if you did it. But, you know.
But it's Gotham is yours.
Your alliance.
Gotham is
so
yours.
Do what you want.
Yours. Do what you will with it.
To be fair, black metal talks about Jesus more than most Christians. Fair enough.
All right.
All right, you guys. Thank you.
There you are, dear listener.
It was wonderful.
Thank you for it was really, really cool. I really, really enjoyed this.
Yeah, that was a fun little adventure during our night.
Yeah.
There's many more.
Oh, we have more adventures?
We do.
Excellent! I love you.
I love you too.
All right, there you are, dear listener.
Have a good night.
Having said that, dear listener, shout out to Johnny Melancholy. Having said that, dear listener, hold on. I think we'll do this again. So maybe we can convince A99 and TK to get in on next time. Inshallah.
Yeah.
I thought you said 4 songs. It's only been 2.
No, that was 4 songs. We did a original, a cover, original, cover.
Exactly. All right. Having said that, dear listener, it's peace and love. Daniel, not peace and love. Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone. Go.